The live service. The biggest disappointment in gaming since this. Now, why did I pick this game? Since its inception, the video game industry has pumped out a lot of but this game became the poster child for something bigger. The complete collapse of the video game market. In the early 80s, there were people all across America that I will call the money men. These money men saw the video game industry market for what it was, the next biggest thing in the entertainment industry. But the problem was, these guys didn't know shit about video games. But that didn't stop them. So they started throwing money around to produce games, and this wave of underdeveloped, uninspired poo-poo games flooded the market. Time after time, the consumer would purchase a game in good faith and again be let down by its poor quality. And this led to the degradation of consumer trust. Now, E.T. wasn't the game that did this. Was it bad? Yeah. Did it underperform? Absolutely. So much so that unsold copies were buried in a New Mexico landfill. But this game didn't kill the gaming market alone, but it was the game that broke its back. It was the last straw in a sea of mediocrity, and almost overnight it all came crashing down. People stopped purchasing games. The interest was gone. People saw the market saturated with crap games only put on shelves to get the most money out of you for the least amount of effort put into the game. Sound familiar? The games business was new back then. Nobody had really figured it out. There were some companies out there that truly made games out of passion, but some saw only dollar signs. But the market bounced back. The money men moved on to the next thing, but the people who really cared about games pushed on. And year by year, the games got better. Companies learned what worked and what didn't and continued to innovate. That leads us up to a few years ago, and the money men came back. But now there was an established market, beloved franchises, and most importantly, millions and millions of new consumers. But this time they were smarter. This time they knew nothing about games and came at it from a different angle. One of the key pillars in marketing is marketing a product. Pretty straightforward. Get people to see your product and consider buying it. And sometimes nothing's more incentivizing than a big red new sign. But gaming wasn't new anymore. There was an established status quo. So they needed something to interest longtime consumers. So they invented a new way to play. The live service. At first, the live service sounds like a gamer's dream. The game never ends. It keeps getting updated with new content periodically that builds onto the experience. And this will go on for years. This proposition redefined value in the gaming space. It offered a new gaming experience, a new way to connect with people online, and a new way to tell ever-evolving stories. But it didn't turn out that way. Did it yet? Instead of releasing a full and complete game, developers and publishers stripped their games to their bare bones and sold you the rest later. The money men began to show their cards. Another key pillar of marketing is analytics. Where in the gaming space was making the most money? Mobile. The mobile game space is the wild, wild west of gaming. A lawless frontier of shady practices and scummy behavior. Here is where the microtransaction was born. But the way developers got around this was make the game free. Mobile games are designed to reel you in, then wall you off. Oh, you ran out of lives? Pay a small fee for more. Oh, you want to open this chest? Pay a small fee to open it sooner. Oh, you want to build this building now? Pay a small fee to build it quicker. These games are built around the idea of soft locking you out of the game until you wait for a lengthy period of time or pay up. Then they started adding ultimatums. If you don't pay up right now, you're going to lose all this stuff you earned. All these game mechanics are designed to trigger your brain into an irrational reactionary state. It's the same concept used in flash sales. One day only, everything in store is on sale, and people barbarically rush into stores to save 5% on a toaster they don't need. So the money men retreated to their lair and schemed until they had a model that worked. Bring the successful strategies from the mobile space over to the AAA market. But they couldn't be giving away their games for free. They wanted full price. So we start to see games like Destiny pop up, PUBG, FIFA, Battlefront, Assassin's Creed, Fallout 76, Anthem. The money men infiltrated the biggest companies in the industry and showed them the money. And it wasn't just these quote-unquote innovative practices that we've seen consume these games. We've also seen a wave of general incompetence. Disastrous launches, unfinished elements, broken assets, and a lack of soul. Games are hard to make. Really hard. And only when a group of people get together who are passionate about what they are creating does this happen. And even then, sometimes it doesn't. In my opinion, the live service model has undeniably failed, and it continues to fail time and time again. It has put gamers in a similar position that led to the crash of the entire market back in the 80s. But luckily for us, the market is so densely rich and varied that people can just play something else. All that being said, I feel the live service has a place if done right. Look at a game like Warframe. Yes, it's a free-to-play title, and yes, it can be a bit grindy at times, but it's become an ever-evolving game that, from what I can see, has a completely satisfied fan base. Will we see another crash like we did once before? Probably not to that scale, but we have seen the repercussions of greed and manipulation across the gaming landscape. We've seen companies lose billions in stocks overnight. We've seen once beloved studios fall from grace. The industry tried something new and it didn't work. They pushed and pushed until people pushed back. And I hope we continue to push to show these money men that we just want to envelop ourselves in good games and not feel like they're being held ransom for a fee. This promise of potential needs to be carried out respectfully and honestly, or be removed altogether. I think I can speak for everyone when I say we're tired of it. Tired of being nickeled and dimed at every turn just to play a complete game. Remember cheat codes? You could play as a different character, unlock rare cars and guns. Well, we have to pay for that now. How the times have changed.